going, beloveds? Mark 1. Hope everybody good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. As always, the sun is shining. Gotta keep shining. Yeah, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So yeah, Mark 1, Mark 1. So much going on, as always. Yeah, everybody tapped in. So yeah, I'm gonna change that over. Make it better. So that does. Let me know if y'all can hear me. So it is definitely cloudy on this side of the world. And just left Memphis. Well, left Fresno, California. Went to Vegas. Drove over to Lower Dam. To the Grand Canyon. Drove through Arizona, Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, part of Tennessee, and Mississippi. So definitely in Mississippi. Definitely in Mississippi. Take me down, climbing up. It's cloudy there. It's not too bad. Not too bad. I don't know why my screen keeps trying to tap out. Fix that. Hopefully we don't interrupt my live. Probably under just your sleep. Yeah, it'll be under that. Yeah, so, no, so what's up? Let's go there. That's not it either. traveling. Figured I'd go live before I sit down and parlay and rest. My screen keep trying to slow down. Super weird. Yeah, everything is complete. So, okay, where my screen go? There you go. Trying to make it difficult than anything. It's the only difference about doing it on the road. Having to work out the kinks. Different when you're driving. But nonetheless, but yeah, luckily for the most part, I have not had no bad weather. It rained a little bit before I got on the road. The car was wet. And drove a little bit, rained a little bit. And it wasn't too much of a problem, but still would rather be safe. So, and Holy Spirit guide me, keep me safe while I'm on these roads. All is well. So, it's like I'm either super in front of a weather storm or I'm like super behind it. So, woke up this morning and saw big old light red full moon, almost full moon, maybe a full moon today. Maybe a red moon in the morning. As soon as the sun is rising, you'll see the moon more redder than it's ever been. I believe this is the third or fourth different color the moon has been. That has been inside of the planetary alignments coming up, throughout the years, the last 5 years. I know we've seen, obviously, yellow. We've seen very silvery silvers. Got a blue moon last year. They always say that superstition every once in a blue moon. And they showed it was a blue moon. So that popped up. That happened. Then this year, red moon, but we've had many, blood moons and stuff like that. This particular one is the doozy. This is the one that is the doozy. So that is what we're going to pick up at. The interesting factor of the planets right now. But yeah, right now it's about to be an alignment of Saturn behind the sun, then the sun, then I believe it is the moon, the Earth. I believe it's like 4 or 5 planets. So I think I'm missing one. But know for sure that Saturn is behind the sun. And this is judgment. So judgment is behind and it's shining light on. Judgment is coming through the sun to shine light on all shadows, all lies, all corruption, all everything evil. So that's the scope of that. A lot of people are going to be going through a lot of stuff. This particular moment is going to bring rise to many things. It's interesting because a lot of the weather we've been following has been being quiet. It got quiet over the last couple of days. It really simmered down, really the calm before the storm. You know, you have most of the volcanoes not, you know, it's fairly quiet. You know, not fully. You know, like Kilauea, that simmered down. You know, so you have. The interesting part about that is that you have a lot of magma that's been surfacing to the surface. And so, with that being, you know, it's kind of like a boiling pot. You got a boiling pot of rice. And the air, condensation of the rice, mixture of the water and the air starts to like boil the pot top off. So that's kind of where all of the magma is kind of rising itself up right now, getting itself ready and fixed to blast off within all of the volcanoes that are around the world right now. One that says about 11 or 13, well, I don't know it's more than that, but like actually active, like going off right now. So it's definitely an interesting number with that going on. Really with a lot of the different earthquake activity is tied in with the volcanic activity. During this time, there's always an uptick when it comes to blood moon, red moons, and eclipse. So this time around, you have 2 sunspots that look like a pair of eyes. When you're looking at it, not even just a pair of eyes, a pair of eyes sit like an actual face, but it's from looking at the different footage. You have there's other faces inside of the sun. So, let's see me sideways. Not facing, it's not looking at me sideways on the camera. Yeah, I'll have to check that out and see what's going on. But, yeah, the sunspot's starting to pop up right now. Well, one of them is coming around the corner, but as it's coming around the corner, you see a lot of activity that is pertaining towards a lot of that solar flare reacting. Well, the thing is, it's super reacting, but it's not facing Earth, so it's not spewing all of it's not spewing any of the solar flares this way. They're going off in other directions. But we're still getting remnants of it as it floats through space and hits taps Earth as it does. So it has been a lot of auroras, a lot of different activity. People have been seeing different things. But when tomorrow hits for the next 2 weeks, from the full moon onto the eclipse, a lot of activity between the moon and the eclipse. Then you have the beginning of the new zodiac, which will be going into Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac sign, and really the beginning of the new year, the beginning of spring, really. So, yes, definitely an interesting time. Interesting time as this is all happening right now. It's just an amazing time that we're living in right now. I've just been watching videos, listening to different videos as it talks about what's been going on from a macro to a micro, from a micro to a macro level, from planetary aspect, space, and all the way to Earth's activity, all the way down to us paying our bills, But this really is judgment. It really is. I've been watching so many different videos, researching, learning about any and everything out there, coming into the truth. It opens your eyes to wanting to edify your soul and spirit with the truth. And stick with it, and not have no different interpretations, being misinterpreted and misinformed when it comes to the information that we need to be processing. So to see that this is happening with Saturn behind the sun, and the sun is now going to be facing us, at least for the next 2 weeks, we'll see the whole face of the two sunspots that look like two eyes looking at me, there for a long time as they're not closest together. One will enter, one is still entering, one will be leaving, one is still in sight. So it'll be like one-eyed cyclops, like I got my eye on you, So, but when it has its full face, it has its full eyes, that's spouts, that's two of solar flares doubling up, get for your trouble. So that's what the Earth's judgment is going to be. Getting double for your trouble for everything that we didn't had going on this planet. I'll start feeling that wrath. But it's a beautiful time because it's like anybody who's dark complected will be able to receive all of this coming from the sun. But and a lot of this is happening. It's ramped up a lot of stuff. I've been seeing the things that I've seen. There's plenty of things that I have seen that I'm taking pictures of, and there's things that I've seen that I didn't even get a chance to take a picture of, just because obviously I was driving in the weather, or just didn't have my phone readily available. So still trying to this time around grab as many things that I see while I'm on the road. But the first thing I seen driving past was the flickering light phenomenon that people be seeing, and I'll post a picture of it, just kind of as an example for people that don't know what the flickering light has been. It's like a light version of the Morse code. The Morse code, you have the sound SOS. It's happening in Morse code for people that don't know. But with the light one, light is different. And the light, when it's flickering like that, it's, for me, it's remembrance. It's bringing back in these flashpoints of flash memories that have people sitting down, whether they're going to sleep or anything like that, and having to, it's like the lights are flickering of history's past into people's memory banks, remembering a lot of things that whether they did or their forefathers did, and seeing the full scale video, full scale movie in people's dreams of the things that have taken place. And so the fact that you started seeing that, the moment that I saw those flickering lights, I was like, wow, it's like I've been seeing this the whole time. And then I leave a place after it's been flickering like that, and then something happens in the place that I've been. So it's like judgment definitely been in those locations when I leave them. But when I saw that flickering light and I looked up in the sky, I saw this particular cloud. And I see a lot of the clouds. But I was looking at it and I'm like, why does this look like a mushroom? You know, it looked like a mushroom, but then it also looked like a unidentified flying object. And like it had a water spout, that it was tornado, water tornado, anything like that coming down from the stem of it. But it looked like a mushroom, but it also looked like a spaceship with a long spiraling stem under it, as if the water was its propeller or something like that, or it was its gas, it was extracting gas and putting something down, you know, one of them spinneroonies down. But it was just very interesting. I was able to catch part of the picture. When I show the picture, you might not be able to see it because I was just like driving, but you'll be able to see it because I'm able to see it just very faintly. But when I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, great glory, you know, because this is always things that I see and then be able to have them interpreted. And for it to pop up, like now even more, I'm seeing more things than I've ever seen before. Very vividly, like, and that for me taking the pictures now, it's like, okay, I have to be able to show people so they can be able to have an understanding and like understand that this is what's been going on, you know, when you're not even thinking about it, you know, but when you're thinking about it, you start getting more focused and lined in, you start tapping into these things, and so for me, I've been tapping into it for a very long time. Coming into the studies and learning a lot more about what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing, like I was able to see that. And so I took a picture of that. And you know, in many places that we have had our ancestors in the water, you know, and to me, okay, so yeah, the location I'm driving, getting choppy. Oh, when I'm able to sit, I'll be able to sit. So I just wanted to give y'all an update that I'm safe and I'm good. But driving through these places, I was able to see faces on all of these different monuments, on all of these mountains, all of these hills. So I just happened to snap pictures while I was in motion. So in doing so, it was just an amazing sight to see this time around. I think I was seeing things from two different sides, where I was seeing things from at nighttime and I was seeing things at daytime. So, you know, the days at daytime, I finally got a chance to like catch them. You know, last time I wasn't because it was more so me and my space, you know, learning my mastery, I guess, practicing, you know, I guess, putting everything in practice that I've learned. So after driving over the Hoover Dam and seeing the different things happen as I, you know, did the, you know, POW, and Word of Power, and it was just amazing energy to be able to see that and feel that and hear that. And be receptive back to me, you know, hugging trees. And I'm just one of them guys. But I was able to go to the Grand Canyon. So I don't know how many people have gotten a chance to go to the Grand Canyon, but that was definitely a bucket list for me, to be able to go. So if you have not been to the Grand Canyon, I would highly recommend, highly suggest. It is imperative that you go. That was an amazing experience. Very much so. I was able to go there, and either they were elk or they were caribou, but I was able to caribou. The ones with the white ass. So those are the ones that I was able to see. There was a family of them, and it's amazing to see, the animals in their element without being caged up or feeling like they have to be, respectful to humans. It's about time that humans be respectful to the animals that are out here. But to watch that, to see everything in its element, it was so appreciative. And I got there and drove up to the first location. And the first location, it just opens you up. You just see kind of the Grand Canyon, but it's a beautiful picture. That's like what everybody run to first, just to see that one. But the lady told me that you need to go to, go all the way to the end. So I went all the way to the end. There's two different sides. You got one side where it's like native and stuff like that, and you have another side where it is, touristy. So I went to touristy side because I didn't have enough time. I didn't have a lot of time, knowing that I had to really drive. But went to Hermit's Rest. So you go there. It's the red line that goes all the way west. So it's the most farthest point. You can take a helicopter over the Grand Canyon, and from the ones that I was seeing that were, flying over the Grand Canyon. I can imagine how amazing that view in particular is, being able to see it from up above. Because when I tell you that thing was massive, that thing was otherworldly. Being at the Grand Canyon and being able to word of power and be able to liberate our ancestors, people of this land, was heavenly, was prophetic. Because as I was there, seeing the animals and the animals, interacting with me. Oh, so interesting. I'm talking about interaction with the animals. The moment that I got out of my bed and got to seeing, all the different animals that was there, it was three ravens that sat in a tree, and they all like gawked at the same time, but were like all looking at me like, gawk, 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 gawk. And it was like a song. They did like a little song, whatever. But I just happened to look at them, and I didn't even grab no picture because I was so excited about getting to the location. But it dawned on me after I had got on the bus. It was like, man, those ravens was trying to talk to me. So the whole place is filled with ravens. It was an interesting sight to see that. Then when I was taking pictures, I would see faces in the actual clouds. Like, these were actual faces of people. Actual faces. And so when I actually stopped and I'm going to mark the pictures out so you can be able to see the faces, but I really, for me, that's why I go into meditation and deep thought and investigate all these things, because I'm like, okay, Holy Spirit, are you showing me these faces of the people that were the oppressors of the land, because it was a mixed bag. I had some that looked like, actual, our people, and then you had people that looked like slave masters or people that were, the evil people of those lands. So it prompted me to go really look into and think about that, It was like, okay, I'm supposed to be investigating, the families behind all of these people who have taken the lands. That's what we're starting to investigate now, is looking into how did these people who are these people, how did they get this, land or anything like that? How did this become a national park? How did this become a state park? How did this become a this and that? So it prompted me to really look at it as I was there at the Grand Canyon, like how are they, they're monetizing these things, as if it's like an amusement park. It's a circus, it's like how all of a sudden, like, how dare you think that, this is something that you can just profit off of, and the original people don't have any skin in the game of it. Like, you guys have been evil and diabolical about that particular part of that, closing off locations that, people can't get to, especially, people that look like me. So to be able to go there, to be able to see, certain areas and like, okay, seeing, okay, why is this closed off? Okay, why we can't go over here? That's more so I'll be going to be looking and seeing things. But, just going there, I was able to see 83 was not really enjoying themselves. I mean, it was enjoying themselves, but it was just like, it was so many different inconveniences that I was listening to that people were going through, whether their tractor trailer caught, a flat tire, or the engine blew, or the kids got sick. Like, there was kids that got sick while they were on their trips to their families. They were just completely miserable. Those people completely miserable. I'm sitting here watching people and I'm just smiling and enjoying myself. I'm just like all in a great mood. But I'm looking at everybody else who was from another nationality, completely miserable here. I saw Indians. There was a lot of Indians. There was a lot of Asians. I'm talking about a lot of Asian people went to the national park. There was a lot of elderly people, a lot of older people. They were more so like inquisitive of like, oh, why am I here? Well, how did you get here? Like, you must be an interesting person to be here, Then I seen families that were there, that wanted to be there. And were looking at me like, okay, he doesn't look like he belongs here, but he's here by himself, so who is he? Wind up, I got on the bus and it felt like it was like what was that, Rosa Parks? I sat all the way in the back of the bus because they told us we had to fill up all the seats. And I sat in the back right corner pocket, because the angle I was able to get the best shots, driving up to Hermit's Rest. So when I got there, I'm just taking pictures, but none of these people wanted to sit by me. Like this lady was, older lady was like conflicted, I guess, going back and forth. And she was conflicted, but the one that sat next to me was the kid. So it's like kids are always drawn to my energy. They just always come and they come up to me and talk to me like, you are interesting, you are special. What is this? You got a glow around you. I'm like, I've had kids come and walk up to me like, you got a glow around you. Like, I see this color, I see that color, and I'm just like, wow, like, that's interesting to be able to see that. But when I'm around older people around my age, or people that are older than me, it's like they're fearful, they're trembling, they start shaking. The lady was shaking, literally physically shaking, while she was next to me. So it was me, the kid next to me, and then in front of me, they got the side seats. She sat right here. She sat right in front of me, and then the other kid was over on the other side of her, on her right hand side. But as she was sitting next to me, she just kept shaking and trembling like the whole time. Like, but, when I was talking, because they was nosy in my conversation because I was on the phone, she was just, it's like, it was a weird thing with that old lady though. I could see the difference with her. But the young kid was just like fascinated with me. Like he had never seen a black person like me, which they ain't never did. But it was interesting to be able to see like kids like, he's glowing, you know. He's glowing. But I took some pictures and, you know, I got one video, but the pictures that I seen, beloveds, I kid you not, when I show you these pictures, you are going to see faces. Because I just happened to last night, obviously I've been driving for a very long time right now, but I just have my other phone, I can't see anything where it doesn't sync to my account until I'm able to get to Wi-Fi. So I got to Wi-Fi last night at my hotel, and I happened to flip through the pictures. I'm like, let me just investigate these, because I know I took a lot of horrible pictures, but then there were some that were just the money shots, and I can't wait to show y'all. But lo and behold, I went through these pictures, and I was just like, let me look. I was looking at everything in an investigative way, but when I'm looking at the pictures, now for one, the pictures look like $1 million pictures. They look like $1 million pictures when you're looking at the landscape of. It looked like I was on a prop set. It looked like I was on a prop set, like how majestically it looked behind me, like this is otherworldly. Like it looked like I was just like blue, like green screen into that location. That's how beautiful the Grand Canyon is. The Grand Canyon is beautiful. It's scary. Don't get me wrong. Just being on the edge of that cliff, they have trails that go all along the edge of that cliff. I'm just like, man, and I didn't investigate, but I'm like, how many buses have gone over on the side of that thing, going over, or just anything? Like, I'm gonna look at all of that, because I've seen people damn near slip right off of the cliff. But that's not the first time I've seen that. Like when I'm right there, it's just like, whoa, Margaret, are you okay? And you got all these older people out here slipping and busting hips. But I got a chance to take all these pictures. I went and got me a little arrow. I really wanted to get me like an obsidian arrowhead, but they don't sell any of the things that are like version of this. It was like cloaked, That picture looked like it was like cloaking itself, but very distinctively, it looked like an actual ship with a stem at the bottom of it. Okay, I'm getting choppy again. Yeah, I just want to put a little diss on. But I was able to see the faces in the clouds, as if it was trying to showcase to me, these are the people who have taken the land, or these are the people, like it was just showcasing to me like the families and the people that need to be called to the front of the class of judgment. Like these are the people that need to get the fast pass into investigation of what has been going on in these regions. Because when we really haven't been to these places, we really don't know. I mean, you can get an idea, you can get, a concept from whatever you're reading or whatever like that, but there's no greater feeling than being at these locations yourself. Like, I've been to Yellowstone National Park. I've been to the Grand Canyon now. Like, that was an amazing bucket list item for me. That was an amazing bucket list item for me. To drive, Yellowstone National Park, Grand Canyon, drive through Wyoming and go and see the Devil's Tower. That looked like a humongous petrified tree trunk. That looked like a whole tree trunk. That looked like James and the Giant Peach. And it looked like Avatar getting chopped down. So to see what it looked like for, like, driving past the Hoover Dam, it looked like the hand of God just caressed the dirt, just marked his fingers in the dirt like that. Lake Mead, I didn't go to Lake Mead, but the same location I was going to. You're able to see the Most High, his heavenly touch on the lands. You know what I'm saying? Holy Spirit just guides me and guides all of us to right where we need to be. And to be able to witness that, to be able to show edification and glorification of that, it's just a humbling honor, truly, to be able to go to these places. I've been to Memphis. Memphis looks and feels just like Egypt, let my people go. It feels like that. Chicago feels the same way, but feeling like Edom, the Edomites, Moabites, it just feels like these places. It feels like Sodom and Gomorrah, New York, to be able to be in all of these different places, and it just truly feels like what I'm reading, is becoming scripture, it's becoming biblical. And I'm just, amazed to be able to be in these environments and see these things, and people witness, what's going on. But me now down in Memphis, me driving past Memphis, I'm down in Memphis, Mississippi now. I had driven through the cotton fields out here and got out and liberated the land that I was at, and I just felt this beautiful breeze kiss my face. Memphis, I went to one of the humongous church, y'all. I don't know if it's the biggest church, but it was humongous. I wound up going there and doing the same, and like I said, I just been going everywhere I can and activating ley lines wherever I can. Some places I've already been, I just drive past them. If I end up in a new spot, I try to go, there. But at least for the places I have been, I try to drive back through to see, what has happened since then. I forgot where I drove through, but the roads was horrible. Oklahoma City, you are called to the front of the congregation. I need y'all to fix y'all damn freeway. I'm talking about that was the worst freeway I have driven over right now. Oklahoma City, going north, right on the 40. I saw the actual rebar poking out. Like, that's not okay. That's not okay. Like that, you got places where these massive amounts of accidents happening, because of there's no workers. Like, I'm looking right now, like, I've been driving on all of these freeways. Obviously, the Holy Spirit's been, literally protecting me everywhere I go. It's a daunting drive to drive from California all the way to Florida. So it's a long drive. You've never done it. So, but I enjoy it. But to see even the red moon, the blood moon coming in, red moon, worm moon, it's going to be fascinating for the next 2 weeks because people are not paying attention to what's going on right now. I think that's why I mentioned even before I was talking about people needing to get themselves a metal detector, you know, not necessarily that because there's other ways to conjure it up, but like I said, the sun is spewing massive amounts of everything, and when it sends that out, whenever we get these, you know, big solar flares, you see a large uptick in gold reserves and pockets of gold, you know, popping up, and the sun is full of it. So obviously it's sending it all over the place. So that's why I've been like watching videos where I'm seeing these people. That's what they've been trying to do is accumulate and filtrate. You know, this is another, I guess, gold rush. People are trying to, you know, hop themselves on as the next big thing. But as I'm driving past a lot of these places where large amounts of the solar flares are hitting, or the energy, or, you know, wherever it's at, I'm seeing all of the plane grids. And I watched the video, and it was like, are they actually like mining gold in the air? You know, because, you know, there's traces amounts of gold everywhere. It's in the oceans, it's in our bodies. You know, it's literally a little bit everywhere. So to be able to see that this is all popping up now, and it kind of put me in perspective, like, okay, are these actual planes that are like flying to filtrate out whatever is in the sky? And lo and behold, that is a thing. That is definitely a concept that has been happening right now. So, you know, when I start thinking about it, it's like, okay, you know, you're seeing planes flying over in a grid aspect. It's like, okay, and I'm seeing these X marks the spots in the air. I'm like, man, this really looks like aerial survey. That's what it feels like to me. No different from when they do it in the oceans, no different from when they do it on the land. Obviously, we live on the land a lot more than we live in the ocean or in the air. But the amount of surveying has been going up to try to find these things. Like I said, there's been so much activity, tectonic plates and things like that. That pressure, when you got two tectonic plates, they're squeezing a lot of these minerals together. You know, it's a lot of gems that are popping up, a lot of different minerals. So you got a lot of, you know, asteroidal, you know, activity, things coming down, falling from the sky. Like I said, these solar flares are having a lot of these satellites fall from the sky too, and they're getting all cattywampus to where they're hitting each other now and falling back to Earth. So you're starting to see a lot of space junk fall back down. You're starting to see, you know, all of these rockets, you know, not work. So you're seeing massive amounts of communication not work, you know, glitches. Like I said, there's been so many different of the flashing light phenomenons going on. So, well, when I'm driving, I'm seeing a bunch of these X marks the spots. I started thinking about the grid and stuff like that. And I'm like, this really feels like that, because we're starting to see where more people are trying to talk about gold now and the different ways that have been, you know, trying to make that happening, you know. And then when I see the remnants of the spraying that they do, it just kind of tied in. It's like one video, I'll show that when I stop, but because I can't show any of I can't screen share when I'm mobile. It's like I can only be mobile as I'm mobile, you know. So, which is fine. I'm okay with this. You know, when I get to the videos, this gives me a much more personal, in-depth look at just how I feel, whatever like that. But the other videos will be, you know, a lot of the educational stuff, you know, the kind of that we investigate and we pay attention to. But looking at what's going on with the sun about to spew out, you know, massive amounts of energy, that's something that I was thinking about. Like, okay, are we going to be seeing massive deposits of gold, you know, because the compression of our atmosphere, the compression of our geomagnetic field, you every time there's a solar flare, it's just like whisking itself right past the earth, but leaving so much. But the fact that shine the sun, and people who thought that they could get away with what they were getting away with, it's like now you got the big sun, now you got the big flashlight about to flash on you like a roach in the dark, like, got you, we got you, we caught you, and then you got judgment behind that. That's where my head is at. Really been paying attention to that part on some very significant events ready to pop up and show themselves, showcase themselves. All of the stuff that we've been lied to about starting to pop up. We're starting to see many of the malfunctions of all of the systems around the world. And people don't know. They don't get it. People don't see none of this stuff. Even from the videos that I show you guys, even from the videos we watch, the interpretations that we have nobody is close to the interpretations that we have about the information that we know and now the things that we see. And it's just amazing how far off that the enemies are towards, knowing anything. And then that's just being in the delusions of whatever type of educational curriculum we all been capitulative to learning. People are adamant, about standing, and that's that pride, that stubbornness and pride. That's poisonous right there. On how we, soak up everything that used to be, but we don't want to take in the alternate, which is the actual perspective, truth that we should be eating, because we've been so used to it, we've been so lied to about all of our ways, all of our customs, all of our ways and customs have been ripped away from us. And so trying to relearn and re-educate ourselves about everything that we thought we knew, but now being re-educated, reprogrammed for everything that we should be doing and should know. It's an amazing time. It's freeing, it's releasing. It should put you at peace, not freaking be scaring brothers and sisters out here, man. I try to talk to some people, man, and it's amazing how much 83, there's a lot of the people that champion all the blasters. These are the people that still champion a lot of these, scare tactics and nigga, you can't be talking like this. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Be like, you can't cast your pearls among swine. You truly can't. You cannot cast your pearls among swine. They will do anything in their power to try to stop the wave that has been slowly consuming all of the lies and deceit that has been out there. So, just an amazing time that we're living in right now. Amazing time that we're living in right now. Like I said, I'm out here witnessing it. I'm out here seeing it for myself. Being able to see the amount of people who are saying like, oh, we're on a vacation. No, you're really homeless. The amount of people that I saw homeless, the homeless encampments on my way to, just leaving California from Fresno all the way down, going into Vegas, like major encampments on the side of the road in Death Valley, the amount of, and it's interesting, like being in Death Valley and you got a homeless encampment out there. It gets 120 degrees in Death Valley. That's light. That's light work. That's boiling. The amount of people that I've seen homeless in Vegas, the amount of people that I've seen homeless back at home, the amount of people that I've seen homeless in Vegas, on my way to the Grand Canyon. There was homeless encampments all along. So it's not like people just living here just to, you know, be living here. No, they lost everything. When you sit here and listening to these stories, when you're hearing people, you know, try to be quiet and mumble under their breath or whatever like that, like I'll listen to even the foreigners. I'll hear little words. I understand certain things because I wanted to learn the languages of the bad things that are happening. And those languages. So I can be able to have understanding. I may not be able to understand they're sick or anything like that. You know, it's interesting to be out and about amongst people and to be witnessing and hearing these things that are going on in people's lives, and to see that it's translating, and we're starting to see it over the last 5 years, and to be able to be telling people like, look, this is what's been going on. You just ain't been trying to pay attention. You ain't been trying to actually accept that as the truth. Like, oh man, they not really struggling, like, but they're sleeping out of their car, and they're eating McDonald's every day, like, and their health is, you know, they're croaked over. Like, what are you talking about? No, that can't be true. That's just Trump. It's just that. Like, get the fuck out of here with all of this mansplaining and she-splaining, trying to, you know, take away from what the Most High is doing right now. Yeah, none of that shit can be hiding no more. Ain't nothing being hidden no more. Even the people that's been lying, you know, it's just, we starting to see all of that. People that don't want to actually be honest about it, even if you just want to keep it to yourself. It's like we're being lying to yourself about it being the actual truth. It's not gossip, you know. It's actually truth, you know. It's not, you know, a fluke. No, it's actual verse. You know, these are actual truths. As I'm driving down the freeway, I'm watching 83 hunched over, looking like they're about to fall and croak the hell over. Cars been blown up. You know, people living in encampments on the side of the road. It's looking like The Walking Dead. It's looking like The Walking Dead out here. Everywhere I go, I feel protected. My confidence. I got a big ego, y'all. And I'm humbling myself a lot more, and I'm so thankful to the Holy Spirit, like, helping me understand, like, damn, Prime, you got an ego, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm the shit. I know I am. I try to be humble and modest about it, but it's like sometimes I wind up being like the sun, and I just be flailing and spewing some of my ego-ness all over the place. And I got to be much more mindful of it. You know, I'm a Venetian, so I know I don't want to be like poisonous and toxic amongst everybody. But lo and behold, like I said, everywhere has been so like divine timing. Whether it's me, my you know, whether it's the job calling me up and like, hey, we want you to go back to work. Me getting on the road, and there's been no crazy weather patterns happening and stuff like that. Like, I'm in between everything, like leaving at the right time. It's just every feeling in me has exaggerated or exacerbated the glee or the joy or the peace in my life, the confidence in knowing that I'm stepping within my gifts and recognizing and accepting my missions that I am having, that I am going through while I'm out here. So, like, regardless of whatever's going on, like, I have been protected over the last 5 years. Whether certain situations I may have accepted it fully because I may have questioned the Most High, you know what I'm saying? And that was a snare to my soul. Like, how dare you snare? You know, how dare you snark, you blasphemous little speck of sand? You know, you're not special, you know, and that's what I feel that, hey, I just needed to get myself back in check and back in order, but the whole time knowing that the Most High never turned his face away from me. You know, he's always had me billowing under his beautiful wings and have kept me, you know, locked in. And so I'm so grateful and appreciative of that. So everywhere I've gone, I've been protected. The times that I've been like maybe dozing off on the side of the road, I didn't, I'm still here. Like I was guided by my angels to keep the car in alignment. Like, oh no, you going on the side, you need to go, you need to rest, So even when I'm in a vehicle with somebody else or everywhere I go, he has truly watched over me. My angels, the Holy Spirit, have truly been everywhere I've gone. So that's why I can feel confident doing and going everywhere I go, because I know that I am truly protected out here. I can't, I'm not in denial about that. I'm not going to speak blasphemous against anything like that. I'm not going to have fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I'm going, what I'm saying? It's like, you got to do it, and that's what this beginning of this year, just been, just do it, or whatever happens, it happened for a reason. It's a lesson, and so, and I'm starting to really digest that, things happen for a reason, I'm starting to say that to myself for, now. It's like, I'm not taking things more personal, because I was so emotionally attached to things because I'm a Noahide, but knowing that, it wasn't meant to be. Just saying that alone has brought me so much peace. Like, I'll sit here in this van, quiet and deep think, be quiet, and that was what registered with me yesterday. Was like, it wasn't meant to be on certain issues that I may have been battling with in my life, circumstances or opportunities, anything like that. I just chuck it up and be like, that was a great opportunity, and it wasn't meant to be. And we have to look at things like that. Like, it wasn't meant to be. You were supposed to experience it so it can be that riddle, that puzzle piece that's going to help you pass the test. That was just the pop quiz. That was just the introduction. That was just the April Fool's joke on you or anything like that. It's just like the moment that we're given something, like a kid. We're little kids that we act like, we get a piece of candy, we get all extra like, oh good, I like, this is my candy. You can't have none of my candy, and so it's like, ain't none of this ours. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, that's our problem. We put things on a pedestal. And that's why we gotta chill and calm down on that as well. But being able to know that things happen for a reason, and knowing that the things that happen are the reason of chiseling you and forging you. And so being able to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna see this, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go see this person, I'm gonna go see that person. You're just making your life much more joyful and peaceful by just doing the things, that need to happen. Especially if there are bad things in your life. If there are bad things, you gotta get them out, It's just like, it is what it is, You gotta do it, You have to do it. Nobody else can hold your hand and do things for you. Especially now, this ain't the time to be, leaning on and depending on everybody and all of this stuff. That's that Bye Felicia effect we in right now. It's like, let's see if you can really stand on your own without no crutches, without no cane, without no water lean on to. This is the time to be doing that. So, that's why I wanted to get back out here. It's interesting. I've been working on these bases. It's like, am I activating things on these bases? Am I activating things? These are the questions that I ask in my meditations. Holy Spirit, you put me here for a reason. I would like that reason to be revealed. However it needs to be revealed. Whether it's a person, place, thing, or idea, allow me to be able to see what I see, and allow it to be, edified and digest and process that make my mind, body, and spirit nutritionally sound. So it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. And like I said, every journey that I've been on has led me to being at the peace that I'm at. Just driving across the country, just going and being out in nature, going and seeing the waterfalls, going to see the botanical gardens, be amongst, trees where our ancestors may have been hung or anything like that. Those are important things that we, have taken out of, consideration. We're so busy, having to be in this rat race. This rat race be messing us up. It's interesting because I have a lot of people that have been reaching back out to me from my past. Trying to see how I'm doing, checking on me. They see I'm doing what I'm doing, and it's all love. I got love for everybody because I know that we came a long way. That's even if you was an asshole, you're an asshole because of your trauma. You became an asshole because of the reasons you went through. So that's up for you to fix those reasons and figure out those reasons, not for me to be able to, to prop and lean and depend on and pity parties and empathy and all that stuff. Just trauma dump on you and all that stuff. No, it's the time where you gotta sort through, clean your closet out, clean up under them rugs, and organize what's in your life. And so for me, being out here on the road, it does assist with that. Kind of get you away from the, or sometimes it can be a jail cell, but being able to find your place of peace, especially in nature. Find your place of peace in nature. Be one with nature, because it will definitely be with you wherever you go. But I'm excited because I can't wait to show y'all the pictures of what I saw. It's distinctively every picture that I was looking at. Like, you cannot make it up. I can't sit here and find it. None of it is photoshopped. All raw footage, and I put it in high definition so you can see all the crispiness of everything that I seen when I was at the Grand Canyon. So it's gonna be definitely. Whew. I look forward to all of what's to come right now. This planetary alignment has been kicking a lot of people. Oh, that's why I be doing these things. So, like I said, I be investigating, I be looking at all the stuff, but listening videos and hearing 83 going through what they're going through, it's bad, y'all. It's bad right now. It's quiet as kept. It's in these conversations. It's in if you watch any of these videos, especially the video one, you can look in all of the comment boxes. All of the comments. And people case, yeah, so I'm gonna just go ahead and stop it. 'Cause, yeah, I don't know what just happened. I do have it.